Hey folks, this is Bobo the Vulture. This is Let's Play Gran Turismo, the real driving simulator. Let's go into the simulation mode. Let's go to the tail of the tape. Let's load that up. There we go. So last time I got an A-Class International license, so now I got an A-Class International license. I got a little bit of money. Got some nice cars. And I got some time on my hands. So I tell you what, that to me sounds like a combination for going and doing an enduro. I mean, we gotta do all the races, right? We gotta win all the races and get all the cool titles. Now, this is a Mitsubishi. I'm gonna go to the Mitsubishi dealership. I don't expect to be able to do any special tuning to it. I'll check just in case. Can I get a more powerful turbo? No. Quit being silly, Bobo. No, but the thing I did want to do while I was at the Mitsubishi dealership... Wait, not that. I wanted to get some tires. I don't need semi-racing tires, I need racing tires. I want super hard racing tires. And I will fit them. I already have soft ones, but they're not equipped right now because I just equipped hard racing tires. They won't wear out so quickly over the course of this endurance racing event that I am about to undertake, the Grand Valley 300. Because I don't feel like doing one of the R11 ones. Who feels like doing an R11 race, really, folks? Nobody, that's who. Race through Grand Speedway, a course with the best view in Gran Turismo racing. This is for an A international license holder, no restrictions on car type. Okay. That's all fair and good. Now then, let's tinker with the car settings a little. Or do you have a chance to qualify in this one? I forget. Oh, you do. Well, in that case, let's go to the car settings. Let's change parts. Let's change to Racing Super Softs. Yeah, okay. Let's cancel. Racing Softs. And I'll do a test run just because I've never driven this car before. And I'm going to go ahead and use the automatic for purposes of this endurance race, because otherwise I'm just going to wear myself out. Wear out my index fingers, making them shift gears all the time. Yeah, this is a nice little pleasant car, alright. Ah, this is an all-wheel drive car. Should not be afraid of it spinning out at the limit. And maybe should be afraid of it not steering quite as quickly as I was expecting. Let's see how this car does for us. Yes, hanging the tail out in every turn, probably not the best avenue. The best way to go. This car is very well controlled. Well, I'm the one doing the controlling, so I guess it's not very well controlled. But you'll notice that the little tire graph down there, little 4 green squares, seem to be at the corners of a phantom square car. Anyways, let's pit in. and start the qualifying. Again with AT. Yes, I suppose I could have just gone straight to start qualifying. I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking I needed to change the tires, but I don't. I want to keep the soft tires on for qualifying, and then switch to hard tires for the race. It's what I want to do, folks. It's what I need to do. We need your muscle, Ajax. We need it. Not my intent, but it seems to have done the job. I wonder if I'm going to end up missing that turn every drive through. Okay. Now I'm wondering, just because I dislike the R11 stages so much, whether or not it's going to be practical for me to, whether or not people will get upset with me for using my favorite cars on the two R11 stages, or my best cars, the Impreza Rally Edition and the my special GTO. Oh geez, that was a terrible exit there. I wonder how I'm going to do in terms of this qualifying. Kind of doubt I'm on pole position. Just hope I'm like within the realm of possibilities here. I am on pole position. Holy wow. Okay. Okay. Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. That was just qualifying. Although just qualifying got me 20,000. I should just do qualifyings on this thing constantly and not even go and do the race. Alright, let's go into car settings. Let's change the settings. Oh, wait, cancel. Let me change parts. There we go. Change these to hard racing tires. And we're going to have less grip, so we're going to be a little slower. I might want to do a test lap, just to be sure of how the car will handle. The handling is going to change, of course, throughout the course of this whole time, but I just want to feel how the car is going to be on cold tires. You see that? I did all that skidding on these tires, and they're still not even greening up on me. Okay, this car is going to be just fine. Let's pit in. And we'll start the race. I forget how long this race is going to be. I honestly do. It's going to be 60 laps. So, how many stops do I want to stretch this into? Alright, see, I'm not going to necessarily be the fastest car with these hard tires on. Doesn't mean I shouldn't endeavor to be the fastest car, even with these tires on. What are you guys doing back there? What are all of you doing? Okay, so braking for that turn was not quite as easy as I thought. So the moment I actually get to a place beyond where I tested the hard tires immediately start to let me down in terms of grip and stuff. Alright, so then. That was the best way through there, but that's okay. Also, I'm driving an LM Edition car, which means that I have much higher top gearing. That Impreza back there has already hit its top speed. Oh, nice. That'll probably be the best way I'll ever get through that hairpin. Saying this, knowing full well that you probably don't need to get into first gear in any of these sorts of situations. Alright, so, go ahead and settle in, get yourself some, some chips or popcorn or something. We're going to be here a while. It's lap 2 of 60. And, once I've developed a good rhythm here, I'm going to try and not overdrive the car too much. I know. You're all just sitting at home laughing right now. That's alright, I'm sitting at home right now too. I only appear to be driving a racing car from a phantom position of several feet behind it. It's weird how this was the real driving simulator. You're supposed to think about how super realistic and everything is, and it really was realistic. I mean, the physics were very good on this game. I mean, they were as spot on as anything that, people were likely to have played at the time. And yet, your car is doing this strange out-of-body experience thing. The downforce on this car is pretty nice as well. I keep worrying about coming over the crest of a hill and the car getting light, but it still seems to respond. Maybe it's this giant wing back here. Maybe it is, folks. Maybe it is. Alright, let's get woed down. Moving along here. Not sure the order in which I'm going to post these, but I just got finished doing a video of Tenchu Stealth Assassins. I hadn't done one in a while, because the final level was so difficult. And sure enough, I got to the final boss. Oh crud, oh crud, oh crud. Oh, thank goodness, I got in space to get turned around by someone. That's interesting. The Impreza rally car is the one that's right behind me. Sort of what I would have been expecting. But in theory, that's supposed to be like just a fact of endurance racing. At some point in time, you're going to get involved in some kind of trouble. You probably won't have a flawless race over, a long course of time. Of course, the endurance races in this game, 60 laps is not very long for an endurance race. The longest, there are endurance races that go 24 hours. There's one at a track called Thunderhill out in California that's 26 hours, I think. They're just like, ha! Other tracks stop at 24 hours. We do 25 or 26 or whatever the heck it is. I think it's 25 now, I'm thinking about it again. They're like, 24 hours plus one. We're the longest ever. But yeah. Like 10 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, those are the sorts of events you're thinking of when you're thinking of true endurance races. Man, again, terrible corner exit. Now, I know I wasn't slowing these guys down before, so the fact that they're sticking with me now, I don't know what that says. I just need to get back into a rhythm again, and hopefully I will start to lose these guys again. You can sort of start to see where the cars are all starting to spread out, especially whoever it is that's in 6th there. My tires are lime green, which I believe means that they are in the optimal operating temperature now, after 5 laps of running. Not sure how much I should be getting out of these tires, whether or not I can expect to get 20 laps out of these tires, or 30. It's a mystery, folks. It's a mystery to me. You folks at home may already know. I've just forgotten. I knew at some point. Pit is on the right side there. Bear that in mind for future reference. Not the best exit to corner 1 there, but that's, I didn't get mired out in the sand. Very nearly, but not quite. Alright, this is an issue, folks. I have to concern myself with, I need to stop trying to brake quite as hard as I am. Because that seems to be the issue where I am, That seems to be the issue where I end up sort of spinning the car out, is while I'm trying to brake super hard and make really tight corners that way. I need to do less of that. This is bad, because now the other cars are going to be able to set whatever pace it is that they want to, which may be faster than the pace that they were heading behind me. Hey buddy, you're a fellow Mitsubishi Castrol man, but I can't let you can't just let this slide. So there we go. I've made up a position. Alright, again, although that was me trying to avoid you know, braking too hard, and so I did whatever it is that I just did there. I just need to be acutely aware that when the car is starting to spin, I need to not just, you know, like, continue to try and let it go the whole way around. Because if this car goes into a complete spin, it's gonna almost kill the engine. Well, I mean, you know, if this were a non-simulated car, probably the revs would end up getting so far down that the car would stall. Unless, you know, you manage to save it. Alright, so got to build these positions back. I got a better exit off of that corner than that guy. It's not going to benefit me too much here, though, because I was trying to get around him before that, and that was never going to happen, which meant I actually slowed myself down for this, the long straightaway where you can actually get up some good top speed. Well, that wasn't my intent, but certainly did throw that guy for a loop too, didn't it? He got quite a bonus, quite a boost, and now he's going all crazy up there. Man, having a real good dice with this second place Skyline here. Meanwhile, the NSX directly in front of us is not getting away in leaps and bounds or anything, so that's good. Be real careful going through those slow corners, because that seems to be where I can really do some damage to my car and my overall chances. Man, again, I totally messed up that corner exit. I know, they should revoke my international license. I think we all knew that was going to happen eventually. It's going to take that corner entry in a way that pulled my car sharply in the wrong direction. I guess it's a blessing that it took it this long to happen. Alright, they are starting to run away there. I don't really like that. But I just need to relax, keep my head down. It's a long race. Run your own pace. Things will work out on their own. I have a sneaking suspicion that both of those guys are running soft tires, and so they'll have to go to the pits before I do. So as long as I can keep them in sight, they're going to spend a long time in the pits when I'm just driving along, peachy keen. That's my sincere hope, anyway. And yes, as these tires begin to sort of fade in out from green to yellow, I have to realize that that's going to mean that I can't do quite the same level of awesome heroics in terms of feats of amazing tire grip. Alright, so, continuing on. Life's okay. But yeah, I've actually been, recently, I've been sort of, like I mentioned it when I was doing the, quick LP of Don't Shoot the Puppy, I was sort of unmotivated, recently, and some of that may be, in part because I'm at the point in Gran Turismo, the LP, I mean, I could continue just randomly playing the game forever, but there's not that much left to accomplish in Gran Turismo 1, and honestly, I feel like it's been a good LP. People seem to have really enjoyed it. It's not been, like, super long, although some of these videos, obviously, are going to be super long. This one, for example, probably going to be super long. But yeah. Yeah, I probably could have set my gearing down too, but you know, I'm honestly not that bothered to go off the track. As long as I'm going off the track in that direction, I'm keeping car pointed forward. I should be bothered, but I'm not. I mean, if I was going to try and be like a true champion of this game and be the best ever and drive like a pro, then obviously the things that I'm doing would be wrong. There would not be the way you would want to drive your race car. That was not a bad exit out of that turn, though. Catching up with these guys. Shouldn't have said that, because once I did, I immediately started, you know, fishtailing the car like mad. That skyline sure does seem to be sliding around a lot more than maybe it should. I can draft them. Yeah. Alright there, creepy skyline. Way to give me a bump from behind. I don't know where you get the idea to do something like that. I certainly wouldn't have set that sort of an example. Oops, I just kind of did that to that guy. Why, thank you. Thank you for the encouraging tap in the right direction. That's right, you guys jockey for position back there. Alright, I believe it's fairly clear at this point that I'm holding these guys up. I can make heroic passing maneuvers to get past them, but my regular old pace gonna be slower than theirs. You know what? Deal with it, suckers. I'm leading the race now. It's my race. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Okay. So I just got in the lead of those guys. I seem to be able to gap them on the start-finish at least. Also, that was a terrible route to take through the grass. Like there's a good route to take through the grass. There is not a good route to take through the grass, folks. This is a Mario Kart. There aren't like hidden places where there are gaps in the walls that will allow you to take the whole course faster. Just have to keep in front. Hopefully not abuse the tires by screeching them out so much. I say, and then immediately you hear the sound. Alright, let's build that gap. Let's make some noise! Now then, the question is, when do I need to lap in for new tires? Are these tires going to last me 30 laps? Or are they going to last me 20 laps? Are they going to start going off very soon? Because honestly, I mean, figuring it mathematically, not going into any of the details of like what point in the race you want your tires to be at their optimum. Excuse me. Because I don't think the computer AI is designed to attack harder at the end of an endurance race than it is at the beginning or anything like that. Whereas actual human being drivery sorts of people would tend to do that. You'd be more likely to concede a position to an opponent during an endurance race early on because you figure, oh, there's plenty of time to let that go back. You just want to run your own race. You want to not get involved in accidents. Some guy's driving like a madman trying to get around you. You should probably let them get around you rather than trying to be occupying the same part of the track as a madman. Alright. Doing not so bad, if I'm honest. If I'm lying, I'll say, oh no, I'm never going to win this race. Build up tension, you know. And it's still entirely possible I won't win this race. As these tires start to degrade. I mean, I could have just one terrible lap where I can barely get my car around, and I get passed by everybody. Stop to change my tires then, and by that point in time, I go even further behind. It could happen. This nightmare could become a reality. Still, if I drive my car responsibly. Oh, looks like the guys behind me have sort of settled down into their own paces. Looks like nobody's directly behind me challenging. Maybe I'm just finally learning how to drive this car. There is that. I know I've driven this car before, but I haven't during this Let's Play, and realistically, if I haven't driven the car during this Let's Play, I probably haven't driven it for at least 10 years. It's a nice car. I can see why lots of people were talking about, the FTO, it's the best thing ever. It really is a pretty good thing. Don't get out there. Don't do it. Crud, I just hit the wall with my nose. I'm trying to scratch my nose while driving at the same time. These are things that you'd have to worry about as an endurance race car driver. What about if you need to scratch your nose? What about if you need to go to the bathroom? You just go inside your fireproof suit? That'd be bad. It's not probably as much of a problem as you might consider, because I don't think those guys have to wee quite as much as you might expect, because it's very hot inside those cars, and so basically staying hydrated is already the primary issue. So you're probably going to lose a lot of any of the fluids that you take in through your drink bottle or whatever through just sweating it out. You'll probably do a lot of sweating. Oh man, such an itchy nose. Oh, itching. Yeah, I sort of started to feel that one go the moment I tried to start turning left. I was like, oh, I hope this doesn't turn into a tragedy. Hey, look! Those guys are going into the pits. It doesn't tell me they're going into the pits, which is kind of too bad. But you see, up at the start-finish line, those guys have stopped for an extended period. Oh man, I managed to keep my foot in it. That was actually a really bad go around there, but it's okay. We'll be alright, folks. We'll be alright. Now the question is, do I think I can go to 30 laps with these? They are just over halfway now. This would be after 17 laps, they would look like this. But you see, by the virtue that I haven't had to change tires, that means that I have a huge gap built up. I don't know whether it's going to be enough for me to be able to change the tires and still come out in first place. But I ought to at least be able to be in second. Actually, these tires aren't looking so bad. I'll probably keep driving these ones until they go off, see whether or not I can make it to 30. Do an endurance race with just one stop for tires? That would be insane, man. Also, it'll mean I'll have, I guess, grippier tires for later in the race if it means that I do have... I'm trying to figure out basically whether or not I need to stop. I'm going to need to stop for tires during this race once or twice. And basically I'm going to go as far as I can on this first set of tires to see whether or not going 30 laps is doable. Well, of course, if I manage 30 laps with this set, then it's obvious I'm just going to stop once, because I'll have been halfway there. I feel like the longer I've gone in the race, the smoother I've gotten in terms of pace. in terms of lap time. Yeah, it would be nice actually if I could see my lap times going farther back. I really only have to go by how the car feels. If I had somebody that was here coaching me on, feeding me my lap time, some guy on my radio, and like, you're faster in this sector, you're slower in that sector, you need to try and manage your tires and, you know, achieve great justice and victory. Now then, this isn't the first racing game that tries to do things like show off, you know, like changing in tire wear and stuff like that. I think Zerfall mentioned one called Pit Stop, which I'd never actually heard of before. Sounds like it could have been a cool old school arcade machine. But you had to monitor your tires and your fuel, which you don't have to do, and you don't have to manage your fuel in this one. I can't remember whether or not you have to in the second. I know at some point somewhere along the line in the Gran Turismo series, you now have to monitor your fuel loads. Most racing game being 5. I don't know when it got added. I can't remember. I can't remember. My lap times seem to be getting better as I go along. So, yeah, suck on that, everyone else in this race. I'll just keep driving forever. Probably can't keep driving forever. Alright. I'll be curious as to how this lap goes, because it feels like a very slow lap. I don't know whether or not it is going to be a slow lap or it's going to be a fast lap. The fastest laps tend to be laps that don't have a whole lot of, like, crazy tail out, balls to the walls looking sort of theatrics. They're just very neat and tidy. That's something you find out from watching lots and lots of racing and stuff. The guys who look like, you know, crazy and all out there, either they're not, there's something wrong if the car is doing all that sort of antics, basically, whether or not the car didn't get set up properly for the race, or the driver is trying to overdrive it, or something weird like that's going on. Hard to know. That one was a 1:43, so that was a slower lap. It's hard to tell, because I've never really been able to tell, like, when they're yellow, does that mean that they're sort of like going off, or because I know they eventually get to like orange, and I've never actually left them on long enough, but presumably they get to red. Like, are these tires starting to go away on me? Is that what's happening right now? So I feel like there's another car catching up behind me now. Now, of course, the question is, can I keep it behind me until it has to pit again? Oh, I don't want to lose this race, folks. I just don't. There's a lot of time gets invested in this. That was a very poor way to make that turn, but we're going to go with it. I suppose everybody will be able to post-race me on this. Tell me where I went right, where I went wrong. Yep, that's that NSX. It's caught up again on its nice, fresh, grippy tires that it changed on at a pit stop. Meanwhile, I'm still up here trugging along. That's right, I'm trugging. Now, you got all that extra grip, you gonna be able to get around me? I shouldn't openly challenge him like that, because he probably could if he really wanted to. Now he's going to pull off into the sunset, huh? Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm losing it. Now, am I losing it just because I've lost confidence, or am I losing it because the tires have lost something? That was a much worse lap. Yeah, I just can't keep up with that dude now. The dude in the NSX. I think that's an LM edition. I think I actually erroneously at some point said that I don't think Honda's ever run any NSXs at Le Mans. And I don't think they actually have, but I do believe that at least 1 or 2 years there was a privateer team that fielded Acura NSXs in the 24 hours of Le Mans. So, good on them, really. Alright, how are we doing here? I want to take a look at this lap as well. Was it a lapse of concentration? Was it the pressure from a guy behind me? Is the car really just much slower now? We're back into the 42 range. Whoa, buddy. Did not need you right there. Coming out of the pits right then. Great, I'm coming up on lap traffic now. Give me a break, buddy. Okay. Doing some more good running. Oh, crud. Well, this has been a terrible lap, folks. Those are other competitors back there. Well, this hasn't been a good lap, clearly, for a number of factors. I came to a complete stop, had that lapper come around me. I'm not too concerned about that one being slightly slower. What was that all about, buddy? That was very rude. Alright, I'm falling down the order, though. This is beginning to become a concern. Hey, it's this guy again. Crud, crud, crud. Fine. Alright, now I'm just starting to lose concentration. And I'm starting to panic. I should just go get new tires, put this whole embarrassing incident behind me. Should pit every 20. And I'll start to get around these guys as they pit in as well. So they'll start to pit in for new tires as time goes by, too. Trust me. Oh, now I'm in the pit, changing tires. There are phantom people changing my tires, trust me. And now I'm way behind all those other people. I'm still not losing a position on track here because the 5th and 6th place people are so far off. Ready? Go! Wow, this car, it's so grippy. I hardly recognize it. It'll grab on and go right off the track. Great, now I'm going to take another lap to get used to how well the car can drive again. Come on, car. Let's go make up some positions. On track or off, doesn't matter. Those guys stop to change tires and I get around them that way, I'm perfectly fine with that. They ought to be changing tires in the next couple of laps. Probably change these ones around 41, 42 maybe. That'll leave me relatively good tires at the end. Oh, whoa. So, not good. Oh, jeez. Well, let's see. 4th place. Oh, 3rd place. Oh, Rory. That NSX still might be a thorn. I was about to say I'm kind of surprised the Subaru Impreza Rally Edition isn't doing quite as well. I haven't seen it in the top ranks, because clearly the top, the running order right now is the NSX, the Skyline, me, that GTO, and then I think the Impreza's probably in 5th. It's either that or that Celica GT4 or whatever it is. It's also circulating around. But I suppose if the computer didn't do any adjustments to the car, the gearing for the Impreza might not be that great for this track. Because you won't be able to top it out going down that long straightaway. Oh, jeez, messed that up. So, but yeah, I think I was saying a while back I wasn't necessarily feeling really inspired. Part of it was this last stage of like the three LPs I've got going on right now: Legend of Dragoon, Gran Turismo, and of course Tenchu Stealth Assassins. I haven't completed yet. I don't want to start my next LP project until I finish Tenchu, because otherwise I'll never end up finishing Tenchu. That would be bad. Let's Watch Red play Legend of Dragoon. Clearly, that's just going to go on at its own pace, and I'm not really... I mean, like, I'm the one in charge of doing all the recording and stuff, but it's not like I'm actually playing that one, so that one, you know, it's sort of related, but not really. And of course, Gran Turismo, these endurance races and the Gran Turismo World Championship and the hard-tuned car championships are the last things I have to do in the game, really. At least the way that I was planning on LPing the game. I wasn't planning on buying every car and showing off every car. For one, you actually have a maximum, I think it's 50, but I'm not sure. You definitely have a maximum number of cars that you're allowed to own. And, it is a smaller number than the number of cars that you can possibly get, or the number of types of cars there are out there. Even if you only wanted to own one example of sort of like every, like, you know, if I wanted to own just one of the second generation RX-7s, not even counting all of the trim lines. Oh, jackass. I wasn't expecting you to be standing still like that. Alright, so this guy who might be a thorn in my side, I'm about to pass, because his tires have gone off. His tires have gone off because he's driving much less ridiculously quick than he used to be. I mean, I can keep up with him, and I'm terrible. He may have just had an off there as well. That might have been part of the reason why I was able to catch up with him so quickly and why he was going so slowly in that straight portion of track. Oh, he's having trouble with this lap car. Out of my way. Punk ass. Thank you, lapped car. I will even accept the slight penalty on this start-finish straight that I get from having to go around you right there, because you held up that dude for me. I appreciate when you hold up dudes that are not me. For my sake. You're probably doing it just because you're trying to race. You're trying to run your own race. That is something that drivers have to be very conscious of during races, during longer races, especially during endurance races. Wait, was that the NSX or was that the Skyline? It must have been the NSX. It looked red, so I thought it was the Skyline for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Did I get something screwed up? Is the GTO actually the thing ahead? Regardless, doesn't matter. Back into a decent position. Just need to not stay on tires that are going off for too long. Thanks to the hard tires, I can't, like, you know, like only stop once or have some kind of ridiculous Iron Man setup. But I certainly can, I can stop less often than people that have to stop for soft tires. I still have to stop occasionally. And that is the lesson to be learned here. But in endurance racing, especially since in a lot of endurance races, there are cars of more than one class out there. There are like super fast prototypes, and then there are like GT cars that are production based. And they have like completely different sets of rules of what kind of modifications can happen to them, so they end up being, like, one ends up being much faster than the other one. But the GT cars are still running their own race for the championship among GT cars, and the prototype races or drivers are trying to drive their own race in the category of prototype cars. And they're both on the track at the same time, so when a prototype driver comes across a bunch of GT cars and they're all racing against each other, they have to be very careful about how they pick their way through. Speaking of picking my way through, time to pick my way past this sucker. Do it by throwing myself against this wall. You laugh, but it did the trick. And now he's behind me. Forever. Probably not. During the next pit stop shuffle, he might get around me again. But, has a little mouth on it. I was talking about the grill beneath the headlights there, in case, look, it has a little mouth. Didn't make perfect sense to you. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, generally speaking, in these races, a faster car is supposed to... Well, I mean, it's up to the faster car to get around the slower car, but the slower car is supposed to be, like, aware that there are faster traffic coming behind it, all those sorts of things, so, you know, and whenever it's, like, sort of safe to do so, you know, they sort of need to try and work out some way that one can get around the other one. Because, oh, nuts, I tried to, like, uncross my legs for a second. Or rather, for good. I was sort of sitting Indian style on a couch here. Just trying to un-Indian style myself. You know, sitting down here and doing this endurance race for as long as I'm going to be going, I could end up getting a deadly blood clot in my legs. I'm only sort of joking. I have a friend who is, well on her way to being a doctor, and I remember that was one of the things she was telling me about, like, oh, you go on that flight to Japan, make sure you get up and walk around periodically. You sit down in that same position for that kind of a period of time, you get a blood clot in your leg, well, you know, go into your heart and you'll die. And, like, nobody wants that, so trying desperately to, you know, have things like that not happen. I don't even want that while I'm playing the classic, weird to think it's now a classic, but the classic racing game, Gran Turismo 1. It wasn't called Gran Turismo 1 because calling your game something with a 1 after it is just asking for it to not do as well as you're anticipating. I'm looking at you, Tobal number 1. The first true 3D fighting game, so it was called. I kind of liked Tobal number 1. It was an interesting game. It had a couple of interesting game modes as well. Got a copy of Tobal number 1 around here somewhere. I think I picked it up for Mysterious JG. Mysterious JG tried it out a little bit. You know, it's not everyone's cup of tea. And honestly, I tend to not really enjoy the polygonal, three-dimensional fighting games. I was raised on Street Fighter 2. You know, when people say they got raised on Street Fighter, Most of them have never actually played Street Fighter, the one where Ryu and Ken were the only selectable characters and the final boss was Sagat. I say that also knowing that I myself have never played that one. Never seen it in an arcade. Street Fighter 2, that was the one that broke out. And established Capcom as like the king, big #1 of fighting games. Yeah, look at that. That's the way to take that airpin. By the nuts. I didn't need to brake quite that harshly and steer at the same time. Caused the car to skid. And I ended up going into the inside of the bushes there. Didn't need to do that. I'm starting to build up a gap again, folks. I'm very happy about this. It's the kind of thing that I want to have happening in my life right now. There are other things I'd like to have happening in my life right now that are not building up a gap in this fake Gran Turismo race. Well, it's a real Gran Turismo race. I shouldn't say it's a fake Gran Turismo race. But yes, in terms of this LP, this is what I want to have happening at this instant. Oh, come on. Go, 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 go. Yes. Successfully navigate the turns as I direct you, car. Plus, this car is green. I like green. Green is my favorite color. Top secret personal Bobo information. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe one of these days I'll do a Q&A like Mysterious JD did. If I were smart and industrious and I had somebody to help me, I would totally arrange a Q&A to do in conjunction with one of these endurance races and just have someone read out questions to me as I went along. But I'm not that smart, not that resourceful, I didn't plan that far ahead, and I don't have anybody I think would be willing to help me with that. Because really, you know, like me watching Red play Legend of Dragoon, that's already Ken. In theory, for me, the dungeons get long enough, boring enough, the enemies get to be samey. I'm just sitting there watching that. Like, boo, when are we going to get to something interesting, something going on? I don't have many I don't have, like, any of my, like, LP collaborators up here that really like the racing games, so, you know, even playing them, much less watching somebody else play one. I mean, I know that I have raced an Enduro in Gran Turismo before with Mysterious JG around, but it was essentially a background activity I was doing while we were doing something else, or while he was doing something else, or something. He was not watching the game. That wasn't his, like, primary activity. Is what I'm getting around to saying. I'm getting around to it. I'm just not getting around to it in a very efficient fashion, huh? More's the pity. Alright. Alright, laps consistently in the 140s. The 140 zeros. Well, last couple of laps anyways. I don't know how all of my laps have been. That was actually not that bad a way through the hairpin there. I don't think that's the recommended line, but just in terms of me getting the car pointed the right direction and getting it to start to drive again. Because honestly, in these games, especially the old Gran Turismo games before you necessarily always had analog controls. This game supported analog controls if you had them. I don't seem to be able to get that to work on this here PS3. I don't know if I'm just setting things incorrectly or what. Doesn't really matter, because the game was designed to be, like, the controls were designed to be workable even with digital controls as opposed to analog controls. That's actually a big problem in this game as well as any of the other ones where you're still sometimes had to use digital controls. Well, it's getting the power down because yeah, okay, so I'm fairly consistently in the 140s at this moment. Oh, this is a bad way to take this turn though. Not the worst way though. The grass acted as braking, rather than actually braking my car, which is what you would have to imagine it would really do in that situation. But yeah, that whole like sort of a situation that you are hearing on the gas pedal there, you don't actually want to do that. Basically, the inputs that I'm giving in are stomp, let go, stomp, let go, stomp, let go. When really, you would rather probably just have your foot about halfway down. There is no way to do that with an analog control. Or no, with a digital control. You do that with an analog control. Honestly, I'm so old-fashioned, though, I have to use when I've played Gran Turismo 5 in the past, I found that I actually was having to use the sort of somewhat stepped analog input on the X button, because I was just so used to that being gas. Getting a little bit more used to the idea, because of course in the modern games you have, I think it's generally L2 and R2 are gas and brake respectively. Or no, R2 and L2 gas and brake. R2 gas, L2 brake. Or right trigger, left trigger. If you don't want to call them R12, R12. Crap. Oh no! And there goes my lead. I still have a couple of laps of life left in these tires, but I really didn't want to be having to have a guy right directly behind me jockeying for position. And there I go again. Ah, screw you, man. You have to be really upset. That's going to be one of the places that an NSX really shines, is like medium speed corners and things like that. With the mid-engine layout, it'll turn very well. Enough out of you. Ah, shh! No! Ran into the wall. Not my intent. I see. You're gonna go ahead and slipstream me, huh? Alright, let's get back to business, shall we? After that brief encounter with that crazy NSX. Oh boy. I do wish I do wish I actually had a seat facing slightly differently. Basically sitting on a couch that is at a 90-degree angle to the TV that I'm playing on. Which means that, sort of sitting on it at an odd angle. I know these are all things that you never really thought you'd have to consider about the trials and tribulations of an endurance race. But there it is, folks. The real hardships that you have to go through. Oh no! That was a terrible corner exit. So I was inspired by watching that NSX go through there. If I just brake a little bit to get the car settled earlier, I mean, I'm sure it kills some of my overall, speed going up there, but, makes it far more likely that I won't actually just completely, screw up that turn, which, honestly, having an okay run through there, as opposed to a terrible run, that's not that bad. It's not that bad. Now, did I just gain that amount of ground? Unfortunately, I can't see. This is something I think they fixed in later Gran Turismos. When one of the other cars pits in, they tell you that the other cars are pitting in. There's a little message flashes up on the screen there. In sort of that area in the sort of upper middle of the screen where you could sort of see the road ahead isn't quite there, but I'm getting distracted again trying to tell you guys about stuff. You guys have got to get me to stop trying to drop knowledge on you. It's becoming a distraction to me. Wow, that one went really smoothly. I wonder whether or not I really could manage to go extra long on these tires. Whether or not it's just that I wasn't driving the car particularly well there toward the end of that first tire stint. The world may never know, because I will probably stop for tires again here fairly soon. And I'm sure that I will probably get comments about how long I should be able to stay on these individual sets of tires while I'm going for the super hard tires. Of course, I may actually get people that have gone out and done the math and are like, soft tires are actually a better option because you can gain an extra however many tenths of a second per lap, and the amount of time that it takes to go through the pits in this particular course, because it has a long pit lane, you know what I'm saying. People will go crazy about these sorts of things. I don't say that with derision. I mean, I go crazy about these sorts of things. I'm just not a numbers person. Not a statistician like Margin O'Hara. That's true, folks. Beloved radio talk show Car Talk is no longer being produced. Tom and Ray Magliozzi, the car guys, they decided that they were no longer going to do the show. They're retiring. I mean, I believe they're in their 70s, so probably fair enough. But again, you know, it's partially because of my schedule and partially just because I don't have an MP3 player that, ouch. Wah, 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 yip, 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 yip. That's what my gas pedal was doing right there. Excuse me. But, partially because of the schedule I keep, I'm not awake whenever they have that. I think they record the show on, like, Saturday mornings, don't they? Like 10 to 11 or something like that? I'm not awake for that mess. What are you thinking? No! Yes! Alright, so this last set of tires shouldn't have to go very long if I were to stop for them sometime pretty soon. Like maybe this lap. Because honestly, I'd rather go not long enough on a set of tires at this point in the race than go too long, because once you go too long, you start to just fall backwards and the positions, they just keep getting shedded away. Although you end up doing something else like this, and you're like, hey, that was just a pretty good lap I just had there. I should keep on these tires for a while. No, that way lies madness. Now let's see. That was a 139 that I ran previously. This is a 144. Oh right, because of that. Regardless, doesn't matter. I'm going to need to stop for tires again at some point, because the set I've got on aren't going to last. And the set that I switch on to are going to last the rest of the duration of the race anyway. So, just a matter of when I feel like going in. Because I can't do a thing, I don't think in this version of the game. It may be that in later versions of Gran Turismo, and I think it is true, you can switch between different types of tires. You can start on hard tires and then later on in the race you can switch to soft tires. That's one of the things about the automatic transmission. You can't really just pick your own gear and stick with it. And these tires are actually in pretty good shape, I must say. If it weren't for the fact that I knew that they were eventually going to go off and that I'm not going to wear out my last set of tires, regardless at this point, because there's... That was a terrible pit entry, but let's come in and get some tires. Probably going to get passed for second, third, maybe even fourth. Which would be a little upsetting. There goes third. I get the feeling all these schmucks may have to pit again, though. Hopefully they do, otherwise I just screwed myself up. Well, no, I screwed myself up earlier. Alright. I don't know. Maybe you folks at home have an opinion one way or the other, but I do like the feeling that you get with your car when you put a new set of tires on it. Especially since most of the time, whenever you've done that, you have a set of tires that are so old, they are, you know, just pretty much worn out. I mean, that's the way these things go. I got about 80,000 miles out of my first set of tires that I got with my most recent car, or my current car, I should say. So then I got a new set. I don't know whether or not I'm going to get 80,000 miles out of them, but who knows? You may not even get 160,000 miles out of the whole car. Although my first car, the 95 Maxima I talked about earlier, I got I didn't personally get 260,000 miles out of it. I got it when it had 147, so I got, you know, like, what was that, 113,000? Something like that. Still, got over 100,000 miles out of that car. I can't complain. I can complain, but I'm not going to, because it would be stupid. Stupid to complain about not getting my mileage out of that car, because clearly I did. And you know, if I'd gone ahead and put in the investment to get the repairs done on that car, it might have run even longer. But we're talking about $3,000 worth of repairs on a car that, instead of getting those repairs done, I was able to trade in it for like $500 bucks. It was not a good deal. But I mean, the car was running on 5 cylinders. Maximas tend to run on 6. That has traditionally been the number of cylinders that Maximae use. And with this nice new set of tires, I'm handily catching up to GGO Man here. I should be back into second place, lickety split. Or no, sorry. I am back into third place now, having just gotten past him. I don't know how far up second place guy is, but hopefully I should be on to him in not too long. Maybe both of these guys are about to stop for tires. I may be asking for a little bit too much there, but wouldn't that be funsies? Yeah, neither of them are stopping for tires. And again, I tried to stop to scratch my nose. That was very ambitious of you. I don't think it was the right call, my friend. Oh, what the He's doing a little demolition derby style racing here. Why don't you enjoy the gravel there, friend? Why don't you just do that? Wow, they're having a good dice for first place up here, those two. I can see the two of them. About to become a three-way dice. Sexy. See ya. That was actually a very cruel way to do that. It was pretty heroic handling of that turn, if I say so myself. I don't know whether or not that's actually the preferred line. Now I can just slipstream behind you. Thank you. Alright. Back into first place. Only, how many laps was that? 2, 3 laps after I did the tire change? Those were all passes on track, too. Those weren't even ones where I just passed the guy while he was in the pits. Those were all earned. I earned those like a man, like a boss. was all good times. Good times were had by everyone. Laughs and smiles and joy. This is going to be the longest video ever. It's not going to be the longest video ever. Probably those endurance races, not Grand Valley, this is the Grand Valley. Special stage, R11. Those are probably going to be the longest ones ever. Not looking forward to those, if I can be honest. If it were just me playing the game, I might not even do them. But I gotta do them for you, the fans. It wouldn't be a complete rundown of the Gran Turismo universe if I left out 2 of the game's 3 endurance races. Alright, there's 59. Wow, 36s. I'm running 36s now. That's fantastic. Yes. Excellent. I'd be interested to see how many people actually watched this entire video. And when I say watched, I mean actually were looking at it. I know I never will again in my entire life. I probably won't even watch it to make sure that all the sound worked. I mean, I'll skip to various points to make sure that the sound was seemingly going. Thankfully, should be able to notice those things by watching the tachometer and the, listening to the engine noise. You'll be able to make sure that, oh yeah, the car is shifting when it appears to be shifting in, the sound of the engine seems to be shifting with the tachometer needle shifting. But yeah. I wonder whether or not anybody's gonna... There's no prize if you do, folks. I'm not trying to say, watch this video from start to end. There'll be a secret message on screen for 5 seconds at one point. They'll tell you how to get bonus Bobo Bucks that you can use to buy Bobo Live Arcade. There is no Bobo Live Arcade. Sorry. It's just a neat looking car. I remember seeing one of these once. I think Jackie Chan drove one in one of his movies. I want to say it was one of the Super Cop movies, but I'm not really sure. Of course, Jackie Chan, not necessarily known for car driving stunts. He's more known for doing his own stunts of, like, martial arts prowess and jumping up and down and, taking great leaps and stuff like that. However, his debut in the North American market was in the original Cannonball Run, because that film was distributed by Golden Harvest, and Jackie Chan was the big like the big star of Golden Harvest and all of their various kung fu movies. And so Jackie Chan was one of the guys in the crazy super technological Subaru. Alright, what's this, 9 laps to go now? That was terrible, but that's okay. I'll manage, I'll live. And of course that seemed all kinds of ridiculous at the time. And of course they did the like dee 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 dee, yeah, sort of like music as their little like leitmotif in the soundtrack. But yeah, at the time, I mean, they were driving around in like one of those. You remember the old Subarus, the sort of squarish looking things. Get off my nuts, yo. As Smash might say. That was a lap car, though. No real need to concern myself with it. Although, having it behind me now, I know that it will cause other cars trouble trying to get around it. Whereas I've already cleared it. Ha 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 ha. He's still behind me. What do you know? He's keeping pace, despite being... That'd be him 2 laps down now, I think. Which actually, over the course of 60-lap endurance race, isn't that bad. A range from your top person to bottom person. I said bottom person. Sexy again. Alright. That's right, bounding over curbs. I don't even care. I do care, folks. I don't want to, like, completely lose it and thus have to completely rerun this race. But, barring some sort of catastrophe, this one does seem to be in the bag. Just, you know, the pace I'm running, the pace the other cars are running. The fact that I don't need to stop again for anything, and I'm out in the lead, and I'm running a pace that's faster than the other guys. All encouraging things. And I don't think my tires are going to degrade before the end of the race to the point where I start losing big chunks of lap time because my tires are going down. I don't mean gone down like literally they deflate, but like worn off. Because you drive your car, the harder you drive your car, the more rubber sort of like rubs off of the tires. And these racing tires are so soft, because softer tires will grip more, but that also means that more of them comes off as you go along. You literally, like, you know, like a set of street tires, like I said, I had one that lasted me 80,000 miles. These ones, the composition is so different, and the driving that you're doing is so different, you'll use one up in less than a day. Crazy, right, folks? Think, because I had those tires for 5 years, something like that. All right, this is good because I'm starting to get sleepy. But this will be okay. We will manage. We will survive. Survive. Banzai! Ah. Nice. Occasionally you'll come up to these turns where there's like there's a barrier right next to the side of the road. And you keep your thumb on the gas, hoping that you will just barely miss that thing, because that is the fast way to go around. You just barely miss the thing, and then you do, you just miss it. You don't even, like, wing it a little bit. You don't even hear the car go dunk, because you hit it, and then got off of it again. Ah, that's just a thing of beauty. Of course, having a track that's designed where there's something that close for you to hit, generally a pretty bad idea. Oh man, can you imagine if my tires were mostly worn out and I tried to pull a move like that? I'd have just gone careening into the sand, the gravel trap. Haha, this will be fun. We're almost ready here, folks. I have no idea what the prize cars for this event are. I'm pretty sure for most of these races, championships and the Enduros included, I believe, there's more than one type of prize car you can get. I don't plan to for purposes of this save game. run this race again and get the other type of car. So hopefully whichever one I get is the one that's really good. I can't remember. I mean, I'm sure that there is more than one different type, and one is probably presumably a little better than the other, just because, you know, no two things are exactly alike. At least in this game. I mean, you know, no two cars are going to be exactly alike, unless you just bought the same car, and then they're not really the same. Yeah, then they're not really different cars. You get what I'm... Well, if you don't get what I'm saying, that's perfectly fine. It's late. I'm entitled to babble a little bit. I'm also trying to concentrate on this game, so I'm not really that sad if it turns out that alright, like, what is this, 5 to go? This is just like a regular old conventional Cup now, except that I'm driving on a car that has hard tires on it for some reason. This little FTO, it's a pretty neat car. If I did see one while I was in Japan, I didn't notice, unfortunately. I'd be kind of interested to just go up to one and see it and sort of see how big it actually is. Because it's really nicely proportioned, but for all I know, it's like a super tiny, like, miniature car. Which wouldn't make it not cool, but it might make it more difficult to think, like, that's a car I want to own. Because it might be so small that, like, you wouldn't fit in it comfortably, or it might be so small you wouldn't be able to get anything in it. I own a coupe right now, and it's fine, because mostly I'm the only one who drives around in it, but it occurs to me, like, none of my friends want to, like, go anywhere with me in that, unless it's just one other friend. Nobody wants to get in the back seat of that thing. It's got a pretty big trunk. So that's not so bad, but, like, you know, occurs to me a good next car might be something like a GTI. But my car is perfectly fine and unbroken, so I really need to not be thinking about, what am I going to get as another car? How far ahead am I of everybody? Oh, wow, I just took a look down at the map. Like a good third of the track away from everybody else. I've built up a monster gap. Okay, maybe not a full third of the track, but a long ways ahead. I don't really have to worry too much, unless I do really terrible things, like just stop and take a nap or a break, fall asleep while I'm trying to finish this race. This should be fine. This should work. This should be good. Of course, it occurs to me this car might have been the ideal car to have as the Gran Turismo for the Gran Turismo World Championship. We'll see, folks. It'll all be fine, I'm sure. I still don't even know yet whether you would resent me if I used the same car more than once. You may have already made that decision clear like an hour and a half ago when I first mentioned it in this video, but of course none of this is even online yet, so even if you did do that, the feedback is not live, folks. I'm not live streaming this game. I'll consider doing some live streaming, though. I wouldn't be able to do it very well with the current hardware setup that I have, but I'm pondering getting a new computer, building a new computer sometime after Christmas. Maybe get one of those super cool capture cards with built-in, with a hardware encoder in the card, so it's not actually occupying system resources. So you could record you know, like full screen, whatever game you're playing, or you could record in high definition off of the console, rather than this composite setup that I've got right now. Speaking of which, I tried saving this video with slightly different settings. The video that I will end up having on my hard drive will be significantly bigger until I might just get the version that YouTube compressed and then keep that as my file version. But the video that the way that I have the format that I have it for uploading is vastly different. It'll be a much larger file for me to upload, but it might look better. So when you have a look at it, let me know. The primary thing I think it may help with is the blacks. That's not what I mean. I mean areas of black in the menus and things like that. There would sort of be odd little blocks of color in them sometimes. And this may address that. Basically, is what I'm hoping. Problem is, the format that I'll be saving it with is a particular version of MPEG, as a particular MPEG format with an MPEG encoder that doesn't seem to be very universally recognized, or at least is one that has controls on it and make it difficult to get another program to edit or play nice with. I believe I've probably mentioned this at some point in time before, but the software that I'm using to do all this recording, it works just fine, but it's very old, and you know, it's not the most flexible thing. And there's not much that I can do with it to change it, because it's sold that the company that made it no longer exists. They were bought by Corel, and I don't think Corel supports this product. My recording software, clearly Corel. Well, Corel probably doesn't support Gran Turismo either, but it's not because they don't like it, it's because it's not their product. Yeah, that's right, I'm driving terribly. I really am. This is the second to last lap. I should probably not just decide to completely switch off my brain now. I don't have that much more to go. Come on, Bobo, pull it together. Bobo endures. Yes, he does. Sorry folks, you just get into a good routine of corners, and they all seem to sort of flow pretty well from one to another, and you just sort of get into this trance-like state. Probably has helped even more when you have the, trancey music playing. Oh, maybe that helps some people. I'm not really a big fan of the creating the trancey music. And there just aren't enough music tracks in this game. But you guys knew that, and that's why I shut off the sound forever ago. Can you imagine playing through an endurance race that took an hour and 40 minutes and listening to the same, half a dozen tracks over and over? Yes, you would want to kill yourself and others. You're absolutely right. Man, this game really was something. 1997. Because, like, I'm playing it now, and honestly, like, the driving portion of it is every bit as good as the Forza Horizon game that I was playing earlier, like last week, to write my review. The driving portion of it is every bit as good. The graphics aren't quite as good, but they're still really good. And here we go, folks. Hopefully nothing won't... Oh! The car just went into reverse. The transmission just flew out of the back of the car. Ah! Running. Okay, so the Impreza Rally Edition, I don't know that it ever got a whole lap back, but... Wow, folks, we did it. Let's watch the replay. No, I'm not gonna do that. Although that is actually a good point to make. There was, for a while there, I was wondering whether or not what I would want to do with these is, okay, it was 34 seconds back. That may or may not have been enough time to do another stop for tires. I might have been catching up so much ground. 43, 44. But, you know, I might as well allow them go back, see, did I lap the Impreza Rally Edition while it was, like, doing a tire break and just not notice? Celica GT4, I'm pretty sure it was 2 laps back. It will, like, cross them, I think it'll cross them as, like, +1 lap, +2 lap. Jeez, if it doesn't, that'd be really annoying, huh? But, oh, I just got passed by the Impreza. Oh, he's still racing. I did lap him. He had just unlapped himself. Let's watch him go. Zoom. So I did lap that guy. Not only going on the extra slow victory lap, he managed to unlap himself. Because he's still racing. I think the NSX-R LM GT2 and R32 GT-R 91 and GTO Twin Turbo are all also slowed down to this sort of parade lapish pace. But it's okay, folks. It's okay. Oh, so that Celica GT. Oh, okay, yeah, it does not actually, okay. It doesn't actually say +1 lap. Future games would. I didn't actually adjust its speed there, it just did that. Oh, and it's not going to let me go back and forth super fast. Look at that car. Look at it. Look at its little gaping mouth when it turns around. Whoa. I love it. 300 grand. Let's keep it moving here, folks. Let's just do that. Press any button. I'm going to continue. Did I get a new car? It didn't say I got a new car. Did it just forget to mention the new car that it put in my garage? That it just sort of tucked away there? Oh yeah! Whoa! Super dark color Castrol Supra GT. Hey, that's one of the special edition cars. That was one of the ones I was thinking about picking up. Let's see. 646. 646, 25, 35, huh? Wait, no. 655, 25, 35. What? Well, the one that I got was black. That means it's awesome, right? Awesomer. More awesomer. Anyways, folks, this is definitely reason to save the game. I do want to save. I want to overwrite the existing data. I want this to be my game forever. Now, let's just hope that the recording worked okay, huh? Wouldn't that be a pip to lose? Wow. Yeah, so there you go, folks. This was the Grand Valley, what was it, 300 kilometer or something like that? This was the Grand Valley Enduro. And we managed to make it through. Hopefully you guys enjoyed listening to me, or if you actually were watching. And I don't know if I'm going to do don't know which of these events I'm going to pull off next. I imagine it also depends, to some extent, on how much time I have. In my next sit-down session. Anyhow, folks, this is Bobo the Vulture. This is Let's Play Gran Turismo, and as ever, I thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye now.